The Pittsburgh Pirates find themselves at 39-39 as they head down the home stretch to the All-Star break. But the path to the trade deadline, it might be a rocky one. There are some rough seas ahead for this Pirates squad. So in today's episode, we're going to take a look at this schedule. We're going to take a look at what the Pirates have coming up. Where are they realistically going to be at the time of the trade deadline and the beginning of August? So we're going to talk about all that today. So make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. Leave a like on the video. Comment your thoughts as we go. My name is Nathan Osler. Welcome to my channel. Let's get into this. So the Pirates just had a rough stretch. A really rough stretch of games. They went to Atlanta after winning 2 of 3 in Houston to start the month. You started out the month of June, 2-1. Then you immediately got swept by the Braves in 3. You only won 1 game against the Dodgers. You only won 1 game against the Miami Marlins. So in a rough homestand a week ago, you went 2-4 against the Dodgers and Marlins. It easily could have been a 6-game sweep at home because they were a Tyler Callahan legacy game where he hit the 2 home runs away from a loss. And they were a Spencer Horwitz getting hit by a pitch away from a loss on that Saturday the 13th. So then they go on the road and you're like, okay, Sacramento, the Athletics, that should be a series win. Then, of course, the Colorado Rockies. That should, hypothetically, be a series win. However, they started this road trip with an 11-2 loss at the hands of the Athletics, but then they immediately bounced back on the 16th and 17th. They won 6-5, and then a 12-4 thumping of the A's. You have the off day. How can you build on a 2-1 series win against the A's, win 2 of 3 against the Rockies, or heck, sweep the Rockies like you probably should have? However, the Rockies had other plans. It was a rocky time for the Pirates, you could say. Sorry for the pun there. Pirates lose 2 of 3. They lose 4-3 in Game 1, where the bullpen blew it again. They lost 2-1 in Game 2, where it came down to a runner's interference on the fielder. It was Billy Cook running into the glove of the third baseman. Is what it is. You got to score more than 1 run at Coors Field. Heck, you got to score more than 3 at Coors Field like they didn't do in Game 1. And then they won 8-6 on the 21st, yesterday at the time of you recording this, 2 days ago from whenever you guys are watching this. And the bullpen almost blew that one. It was a 3-3 road trip, which you might be like, that's good. 500 road trip. That's not passable for me against those teams. You won 2 of 3 against the A's. That's what you should do. You only won 1 against the Rockies. That's unacceptable. And the way they looked, that was even more unacceptable. The trade deadline is in the beginning of August. It's not July 31st like usual. They moved it to, I think, August 2nd. If it's August, leave a comment down below. I don't have it exact, but it's either August 1st or August 2nd. It's different this year. But taking a look at the schedule ahead and what the Pirates have, it might be rough to where they're either going to be hovering around 500. Could they be at 500? Or they might even be below 500. So let's just look at what they have coming up. So tonight, at you guys watching this, I'm recording this on Monday night, so I'm going to keep saying tomorrow. So tomorrow starts the series against the Seattle Mariners. Seattle Mariners is a 3-game set, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Starts a 6-game homestand. They desperately needed to come back home after that road trip. But the Mariners are only one of 3 teams in the American League. They are 40-39 with a plus 17 run differential. Their expected win-loss right now, according to MLB's Game Day website, is 41-38. Not the greatest, but it's a very subpar AL West. The Pirates just saw the AL West against the Athletics, but the Mariners right now, 40-39 at the time of me recording this. They're, like I said, only one of 3 teams in the AL right now with a positive run differential. And heck, they have the second best one. The Yankees have a plus 110 run differential, which is 3rd best in baseball, behind the Brewers and Dodgers. And the Tampa Bay Rays have a plus 7. So the Mariners right now are the second best run differential in the American League. They have some guys on offense that are scary. I'm more scared of their pitching rotation, because if Tomoyuki Sugano and Kyle Freeland were able to carve up the Pirates like a pumpkin on Halloween and Coors Field, I don't care if Brian Woo's having a subpar year. I'm expecting a lot from him. Bryce Miller and Luis Castillo are going to be piggybacking. I'm expecting a lot from that game. Yeah, and George Kirby as well is in the mix. This Mariners rotation and pitching staff and some of these guys in this lineup are no joke, so that's going to be a tough one. Coming up this weekend, the 26th through the 28th, Friday through Sunday, the Cincinnati Reds are back in town. Last time we saw the Reds, they were swept by the Pirates. It included that game where they won 17-7. Last time against the Reds, they won 9-1, 17-7, and then 1-0. Back in April against the Reds, they did the same thing. They destroyed them. They won two. They won 2 of 3, that is, from March into April. They lost the first one, won the next 2. They did their job against Cincinnati. You got to keep doing your job, though. Do it again. Win 2 of 3. I would love a sweep over the Reds, but right now, the Reds have been a little bit subpar. Elly De La Cruz is coming off the IL. He's set to come back. They are 37-39. You can tell they are missing Elly De La Cruz a lot, and he's been a guy that has had some good numbers against the Pirates. Right now, they're 37-39. It's not out of the equation that they could be over the Pirates by the end of Sunday. They could easily pass them up. If the Reds come into PNC Park and look like a completely different team than they have against the Pirates this year already, who knows what's going to happen there. So that's 2 series in a row against teams that are fighting for playoff spots. The Mariners are fighting for an AL West title, and the Reds right now are fighting to get back into the wild card race. A wild card race that, at the time of me recording this, the Reds are still only 2.5 out. The Pirates are 1.5 out. That's how close these two teams are. So the Reds, just because they have a losing record, they're not out of it right now. Moving on to the next series. This one means no introduction. They have a couple games going to Philadelphia. 4 to be exact. Yes, 4. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. That's going to be rough. The Phillies just came to PNC Park and swept the Pirates. They made them look silly. And now you got to go to Philly for 4 of them in a ruckus environment. 2 weeks before that place is going to be hosting an all-star game. Bryce Harper just hit a cycle. Kyle Schwarber's hitting bombs. We saw both of them destroy the Pirates. You're guaranteed to at least be getting one of Christopher Sanchez or Zach Wheeler this series. You'd be lucky not to get both. That's going to be a test for this Pirates team. So 4 against them. The Washington Nationals are right after that. And they're not the Nationals of the past where you can just push them over to the side. The Nationals are 40-38 at the time of me recording and have a run differential of plus 12. They've been one of the most fun offenses to watch in baseball. The Nationals played the Pirates a couple months ago, and the Pirates did their job. It wasn't the best. They split the series. Pirates won game 1 16-5. Then they lost 5-4. They won 2-0, and then they lost 8-7. That was a series that should have gone a completely different way. But ever since, the Nationals have been playing some surprisingly good baseball. So that's another series that's going to be rough. And then going into the week before the All-Star game. 3 against the Braves at home, 3 against the Brew Crew at home. The Braves already swept you in Atlanta. You got to bounce back against them somehow. You got to beat the teams ahead of you to have a chance, or at least show you have a chance. The Brewers are right after them. The Pirates surprisingly won 2 of 3 in Milwaukee before, but this Brewers team is always good. Right now in the NL Central, at the time of me recording, 46-29. They have a 5-game lead on the surprising Cardinals. After that, you got the All-Star break. So that's your little stretch going into the All-Star game. Mariners, Reds, Phillies, Nationals, Braves, Brewers. That's tough. Immediately after that, you have the first place in the AL Central Guardians. So let's be honest, the Guardians do have a -7 run differential at expected of 38-40. But right now they're 41-37. They've been a team that have given the Pirates some tough times these last few years. The New York Yankees, right after that, in the Bronx. Like I said earlier, the Yankees right now have a +110 run differential. Their expected win-loss right now is 50-27. They're underperforming that at a 46-31 rate. The Yankees are on fire. They look like they're going to be back in the dance. They look like they're trying to get back to that World Series. And the way the AL is playing this year based off subpar offenses across it, they are the clear heavyweights in the American League right now. So that's 2 rough ones. Then you come back home, the Cubs and the Diamondbacks. The Cubs have been 50-50 this year, and the Diamondbacks, you won 2 of 3 back in Arizona, but they've been a team that historically have also given you some hard times. And then going into where the trade deadline is, they finally go back to Cincinnati. They have the Reds from Thursday the 30th to Sunday the 2nd of August. That's your stretch going into the trade deadline. Like I have in the lineup on the side to my right. This is a tough path to the trade deadline. The Pirates right now are at 500, 39-39. The best case scenario I can think of whenever looking at this schedule coming up, keep winning 2 of 3, split these 4-game sets. Because let's be honest, I'm very nervous for not really this Mariners-Reds stretch. That could go well. As I say that, maybe they'll just lose 2 of 4, 2 of 6 that is, and or lose 4 of 6 and go 2-4 at home and it just goes wrong. If that happens, they're in a lot more trouble. But I'm more nervous for that Phillies stretch, the Phillies and Nationals. 4 games in Philly, 3 in DC. The way the Nationals are playing, it's no easy series. We just saw what the Rockies did to the Pirates, and that was supposed to be one of those quote-unquote easy series wins. Then the Braves and Brewers come to town, to PNC Park. That stretch of Phillies, Nationals, Braves, and Brewers, it's a test. And even the Guardians, Yankees, Cubs, Diamondbacks, and Reds, like at the end, all of these teams, what they have in common, they're all right now in a wild card race. The only team with a losing record in the bunch is the Reds, but they're only 2 below 500. They're going to be back in the race, I think, because Ellie's coming back. This Pirates team is in a little bit of trouble. You can tell they're desperately missing Connor Griffin. They're desperately missing O'Neal Cruz. Brian Reynolds has been able to pick up a lot of the weight, but Ryan O'Hearn has been slumping. Brandon Lau's been slumping. Spencer Horwitz has been here and there, but overall he's been positive. The starting pitching hasn't been the greatest. Paul Skeens has been a subject of a lot of conversation. I think he's been okay. Braxton Ashcraft's been awesome. Bubba Chandler's starting to heat up a little bit, but he still hasn't looked the sharpest. Mitch Keller has not been the Mitch Keller we've known to love these last couple years. He's been very subpar. And Jared Jones just comes off the IL, and he just got hit by a pitch on his throwing elbow where he just had surgery. On the comebacker. Hopefully he's good. Came back negative. But then the bullpen's the most suspect part of this team. It's bad. They've already blown so many games out of this bullpen where it's like this team could easily be near the 50-win mark if they didn't blow 14-some saves. It's about over that range, I think so, if I have the stat at the top of my mind. They have a lot of work to do. I wanted to make this episode kind of like looking at like trade targets. I want to start to do that. And that might be our next episode because there was a post going around, like a Jeff Passan article from ESPN. Like, here's some players, here's where they could be linked. There's a couple of them. But I was thinking, before we get into trades, is this team going to be in a position where they're actually going to be buyers? Or if everything goes wrong in this stretch, like it very much could, the way this team looks right now, they could be sellers. And I really hope not. Because you think if they're sellers, what's there to sell really? It's Brandon Lau, Gregory Soto. Those are the 2 big 1-year deals that you have. Brandon Lau wasn't a free agent signing, but he's going to be a free agent at the end of the year. And sadly, I don't see the way the Pirates are going to extend him. I hope they do, because he's the perfect second baseman for this team. If they're buyers and they're a 500 team, here's the other side of this. If they're buyers and they're sitting at 500, they're not guaranteed a playoff spot. They're not going to trade Seth Hernandez or Edward Florentino for the guy. That's what a team like the Dodgers, the Yankees will probably end up doing for a Tarek Skubal. He's going to be the guy. They'll trade one of their top prospects. They'll trade one of their top players because they know that they have a solid chance of making the World Series. If the Pirates do that, if they were to go all in, let's say, for Yordan Alvarez, I don't think it's going to happen. But you have to hope that you're going to be making the World Series in the next year or two. And next year, there's going to be a lockout. I really am losing hope for baseball next year. So I think if the Pirates are buyers, you're not going to see those splashy moves. Because let's be honest, if they're somehow still in it at the trade deadline, I think they're going to be around where they are now, 500. They're built like a 500 team. And it's kind of annoying to watch at the same time because I don't like being a 500 team right now. I want to see this team 5 over 500. Maybe 3 over 500. That's where they probably should be right now if they didn't blow half those saves. Sure, let's still throw some losses in there, but change some of those games where they blew the game against the Phillies that I was attending. Change that to a win where Gregory Soto and Dennis Santana blew up that game. Change one of those Braves games where Evan Sisk allowed all the runners on that RBI double on Sunday against the Braves. Change that to a win. Change that A's game where they got blown out to a win. Change the Rockies series to a sweep to make it 3 wins against the Rockies. 2 of those Nationals games, the one where they lost by 1, change that to a win. And this team is a lot over 500 right now, and it's in a lot better of a situation. But this is going to be a tough stretch for this Buccos team. They have a lot to prove to Major League Baseball and the teams around it that they are going to be competing with. They have to prove themselves ASAP. It's time. If this Pirates team is going to be seriously thinking about being a buyer at the deadline, they're going to have to make those moves. We just saw Joey Bart get traded for Hunter Stratton. I don't have much thoughts about the trade. I don't hate it. I don't love it. It is what it is. It's a help of the bullpen. Hunter Stratton's right now in AAA. I'd assume he's going to be up for this Mariners series because they need all hands on deck for this bullpen. If they can fix the bullpen, they get O'Hearn back. Not O'Hearn. Cruz, I mean. Cruz back maybe around the All-Star break. Griffin back maybe, hopefully, by the Philly series. That would be nice. This team could be in a lot better of a spot. Get streaks from Brandon Loud. Get him hot before the All-Star break. Get Ryan O'Hearn back on track. Because ever since his injury, it hasn't been the greatest from Ryan O'Hearn. This team could be in it more at the trade deadline. I just fear that being around 500 isn't going to be good enough to be that quote-unquote splashy buyer. I think the way the Pirates are going to be approaching this deadline is if they're able to offload Ozuna's contract, they'll be able to spend some more money there. They already got some more money to spend because Joey Bart's gone. You can use that for relief help. I think if there's anything they're going to trade for, it's going to be relief help. They already did it with Hunter Stratton. If there's any reliever I'm fine with them making a splash on right now, it's to bring Aroldis Chapman back. I would do that. He was one of those guys that was on that trade article that I might break down in our next episode here. But I just wanted to talk about that with you guys tonight. I wanted to make a little quick episode here for you guys here on this Monday night for you guys to watch on Tuesday morning or whenever I upload this on Tuesday. But just where do you think this team is at the trade deadline in early August? Or let's just say end of July, like usual when the trade deadline I think should be at July 31st. But where are they going to be after this stretch? Are they a 500 team still? Are they below 500? They've been teeter-tottering from below to above back to 500. But more than likely, lately, it's been a lot of below 500 for a day. They get back up to 500. They get back above 500. Now they're back below 500. Now they're back at 500. And now they're stuck at 500. Right now, 39 and 39. Fourth place in the NL Central at the time of me recording this. Mariners and Reds this week. Phillies, Nationals, Braves, Brewers to finish out the first half. Is this team a buyer? Is this team a seller? Let me know in the comments down below. Make sure to subscribe down to the channel. We're on the road to 600 subscribers. We're almost getting towards the 1,000 mark, so that's awesome to see. But my name is Nathan Osler. Thank you guys for watching. Have a great day, everyone, and I'll see you next time. As always, let's go Bucks.